Welcome to the Week 7 Bay Rivers District 757preps.com football pick show. My name is Perez Thomas. This is Jason Kidd. Want to start by apologizing to the Bay Rivers District fans. We didn't get a chance to shoot a pick show last week due to some scheduling conflicts. If you did notice, we did have our picks up on the website. We both did go 4-1 last week. And again, I just wanted to start off by apologizing, and we'll do our best to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. But now we can jump straight into the Week 6 scores. We'll start off with what was our game of the week. I believe it was York and Poquoson, and it didn't turn out to be much of a game. York dominated 42-21 on homecoming night, and all I can say is, wow, that offense was impressive. From Alex Johnson to, you got
Tywan Lewis,
Honey, I mean,
Jake Norman.
You name it, they've just got weapons everywhere, and Poquoson just didn't seem to have the athleticism to hang with them. It was a very impressive, dominating performance by the Falcons. And Poquoson, again, just struggled. Too many turnovers. I don't know how many times we're going to have to say it about the Bulls this year, but they have got to find a way to hold on to the football if they want to do anything.
Yeah, Poquoson had 5 turnovers, and Wark was able to capitalize on them. 21 points off turnovers in the first half. Gave them that flexibility of jumping out to a big lead. Alex Johnson, the guy's been totally efficient this year.
He has. Looks like Steve Young.
Yeah. He had 140 yards passing, touchdown pass. Anthony Honey, he had 82 yards rushing, added a touchdown on the ground. What about that 80-yard option play? Shoe flies off 25 yards down the field with the pitch.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That's how you run an option right there. It was definitely a beautiful.
Kind of looked reminiscent of Taylor Martinez, quarterback of Nebraska.
Yeah, it was pretty. We'll go ahead and step into what wasn't expected to be much of a ball game and turned out to be a blowout. In fact, the Grafton Clippers with a 38-0 victory over Smithfield. Anything you want to add about that one?
Well, Grafton was able to pretty much do the same thing York did against Poquoson. They capitalized off turnovers. They had 3 interceptions. Colby Underwood, Jesse Santiago, and Robbie Heiser. Robbie Heiser threw 3 touchdowns. Clippers came out. The thing about Grafton is that I notice is when they're playing somebody they're supposed to beat, they bully them around. But, when they're playing somebody they're going to have a tough time with, they get smacked in the face and they don't fight back. And this week's upcoming game against Warhill, we'll see if they've learned to fight back yet. Warhill's definitely going to smack them.
It looked like they, started to open up the passing game a little more, and I've been preaching all year. I don't understand why they do not get Marcus Spearman more involved. He has got to be one of the most talented players on the team, and it seems like to me he may get 6 to 10 touches after that, and he needs to have more touches if you ask me. I mean, he's an athletic talent out there. I mean, he can break a play for 80 yards anytime he touches the ball, but he's got to touch the ball to do it. So I think if they can open things up a little more, hey, trust Heiser a little bit. He can throw a nice ball. I mean, he hadn't been playing quarterback his whole life, but I think, if you let him loose a little bit, let him chuck it a little more, I think Grafton can be, a problem. But if they just run the ball, line up and run it every single time out that spread, you can defend that. We'll go ahead and we'll move in now to this Jamestown-New Kent game, which was a little tighter than expected. Jamestown ended up with a W, 27-18, but it looks like New Kent's starting to play a little tougher here the last couple of games.
I definitely agree. New Kent has come together. They have, Devontae Fitzgerald at running back. They have Storm Parker, who's been the nucleus of that offense for the past couple of years, and the addition of Fitzgerald to go with Parker has helped them out. There's no doubt about that.
Definitely, it'll help keep them fresh, and I believe Fitzgerald was a wideout before that, but I guess they don't trust the passing game too much. Well, if you got talent, you got to find a way to get the ball in his hands. It looks like New Kent's starting to do that.
Definitely.
All right, we'll move into what turned out to be the game of the week between Lafayette and Warhill, and I tell you what, it was a barn burner, and it was a classic. Like it seems like last year they went OT, didn't they?
Last year they went 3 overtimes. This year they went to 1. The game was settled. Warhill was really troubled by not having a placeholder for their field goal kicker. They missed 5 extra points. Lafayette, they're a senior leading team, and the senior leadership showed up for them. Will Capers had 188 on the ground, 3 touchdowns. Rodney Taylor added 118. I mean, these guys are really running the ball hard right now.
Definitely, and then you factor in that you still got Thomas Smith on the outside to contend with. I mean, you got to pick your poison with that Lafayette offense, and it looks like Warhill just didn't have enough, but they are definitely a contender, and they are a playoff threat. Now, we'll go ahead and move into the last game of the week, which was a surprising one to me just in how many points were scored. Bruton put up 52 points on Tabb. I mean, I figured Bruton would win. I just didn't see Bruton putting up 52 points. I've seen them play at least twice this year. And the offense just looked like they couldn't get things going. And when they did, they would turn the ball over or something like that would happen. But to put up 52 points, it looks like something has clicked in their head. And, going forward, if they can continue getting that running game going and, getting their blocks and not turning the ball over, their defense is always going to be pretty solid.
Yeah, Brad Burks, Darius Olvis, they both went over 100 yards last week. Olvis added 2 interceptions. Bruton played a good game, better than what they've played in the past few weeks, ever since they lost their quarterback. But they stepped up, won a game. We'll see what they're about this week.
Definitely. Like I said, we did both go 4-1 in last week's picks. Now we'll go ahead and move into this week, and you can follow us on the website to see how our picks go from this week on. We'll start off with the York at New Kent matchup. Honestly, I think this one's going to be a blowout. Although New Kent has been playing better of late, I think York just has way too many weapons. The defense, which everyone has a question mark beside, they have been playing pretty well. They've been forcing some turnovers. Yeah, they give up points, but they put up so many. If you give up 20 points, that's still not enough to, affect them. I think they're just too athletic, too many weapons. I'm going York 42-14 over New Kent.
I don't think New Kent's going to score 14, to be honest with you. I see a 49-6 win. Marcus Wakeland has been playing big, putting in big minutes on that York defense. He has 84 tackles on the season. He had 19 last week. Anthony Honey added 13 tackles. He's got 5 interceptions this year, 7 forced turnovers. York's defense is really stepping up, and as explosive as their offense is, this game's not going to be close.
Yeah, I agree 100%. We'll go ahead and move into what should be another lopsided game between the Lafayette Rams and the Tabb Tigers. Again, I see Lafayette, just too many weapons, too much athleticism, too much of everything for, a Tabb bunch to handle. It looks like, Tabb just relies on Andrew Jr. I mean, if you stop him, you're going to pretty much give Tabb fits. I'm going Lafayette 49-7. I look for Thomas Smith to blow up for big numbers this week. Capers. Look for Rodney Taylor throwing a touchdown or 2. I just think this one could get ugly.
Well, the running game at Lafayette really takes the pressure off quarterback Connor McGinney. William Capers is having a sensational year. Rodney Taylor has stepped up the past few games. He's gone over 100 in his last 2. And that really takes the pressure off McGinney. And I look for him to open it up this week. Find your man, Thomas Smith. I like Lafayette in a big win, 52-7. No surprise.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and move into what should be a little bit of a more balanced matchup between the Jamestown Eagles and the Bruton Panthers, who, again, come off that impressive victory over Tabb where they put up 52 points. I look for Bruton to continue the winning streak right now. I think they may have just a little bit too much for Jamestown. Jamestown's been up and down. One week they get a nice victory or they hang around with somebody that you didn't necessarily think they would, and then the next week they go out and lay an egg. The question to me is, which Jamestown shows up this week? I think Bruton wins this one 2017. I think Bruton's defense has been pretty consistent for the most part. As long as they're not on the field for an extended period of time, I think they should be able to hold Jamestown down. As long as that offense can get, seam together a couple first downs, get the running game going, I can see Bruton pulling out a W.
Well, Perez, I guess this is where we disagree this week because I'm going with those Jamestown boys. Stas Sapaniak last week went for 170-some yards. The big guy's on a roll, and I'm going to roll with him. Jamestown 22, Bruton 20.
All right. Tight one, though. Tight one. All right. We'll go ahead and move into the defending AA state champ, Poquoson Bulls, who, as of right now, don't look like a defending state champ. They look like a team that lost all their senior leadership. And they're going against a very young bunch from Smithfield. Eventually, Poquoson's going to have to stop putting the ball on the ground. I think I was joking with you last week. I said it looks like they're giving the ball away like parents do on Halloween when they give away candy. I mean, it's got to be troubling the coach over there. I mean, I just, last 3 weeks, I know they've probably put the ball on the ground 15 times. You've got to hold on to the football in order to win. I mean, I saw a couple of nice drives they put together, and then boom, they fumble it. And, that's a deal breaker right there. You give away the ball that many times, you're not going to win football games. I think this week, they decide to finally hold on to the ball, maybe put on some sticky tack or something. Maybe coach is making them walk around campus with a football in hand all day. I'm going with Poquoson over Smithfield, 28-20.
Well, Perez, I agree with this one. I see Poquoson winning this one 35-0. Rumor is it William Enemy and Dylan Hill have been carrying footballs to classes this week. And a guy tried to snatch the ball away from M&E while he was taking the test, and teacher almost wrote him up for cheating because he was talking in the test because he about to yoke boy up. But no, all jokes aside, Poquoson, they're a good football team. They just have lapses sometimes, and Elliot Duty, he's instructing discipline and these guys, and I think they learn from their mistakes to get over it against Smithfield 35-0.
Yeah, I agree. I think sooner or later you gotta stop putting the ball on the turf.
Yeah, it ends this week.
All right, and we're gonna go ahead and move into the game of the week between Warhill and Grafton. And I think this one's going to be a good one. It's Friday night over at Bailey Field. I think this one's going to be a defensive battle. I don't see much scoring going on. I mean, Warhill's defense has been impressive all year. And, I mean, up until last week, I don't think they had given up 30 all year. Unless it was, York. I think they gave up just York. 25 in that one. But, I mean, Warhill's defense has been impressive. Their offense, so-so. But when you have a defense like that, you can play low-scoring games and still pull off wins. I'm going with Warhill, 12-10. Grafton has got to open that playbook up if they expect to do anything with this Warhill defense. That spread it out and run is not going to cut it this week. Warhill's D is too stout for it.
Well, you got the Wildcat formation Warhill presents. And then you got the spread offense that loves to run coming from Grafton. I like the Wildcat in this one. Devontae Didman, he had a game to remember last week. He had 2 touchdowns running. He had a touchdown receiving, and he even threw a 73-yard touchdown. The man got off. I'm going with Didman, Reggie Lipscomb, Parker Ostelo, the Wilson twins, step up, do it big this week. I'm going with the 13-10 of the Grafton Clippers.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be a showdown between two good teams. And like I said, unless Grafton opens it up, it could be, even worse than the 13 or 12-10.
Well, this game has major Division IV AA playoff aspirations. Right now, Warhill is, I believe, 2nd or 3rd. They would get a bye in the first round. Grafton is...
I think it's vice versa. I think Grafton's number 2, and then Warhill is like 6.
Well, maybe so. But anyway, Warhill wants that playoff. They want that bye. They're going to come in this game, and they're going to show the Clippers this is not 2010. This is not 2009. They're here, and they're for real.
I agree 100%. Well, that wraps up this week's Bay Rivers District Picks of the Week show. I'm Perez Thomas. This is Jason Kidd. We do appreciate all the support you give us. We do ask you to check out the website for at 757preps.com. We offer stories, video, you name it. Occasionally we throw in a player of the week, a preview, you name it, we throw it in. Scores everywhere. You can also check us out on Twitter at 757preps. You can check us.
Tweet.
Yeah, definitely tweet us. You can check us at YouTube, youtube.com/757preps, and you can also like our Facebook fan page, which also includes video and pictures and also updates whenever we post new stories. Again, I'm Perez Thomas. This is Jason Kidd. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Enjoy.